All right, so I got to get up the side of that mountain right there. But found me some pull-up bars here, and it's early morning here. I guess it's maybe 6:30. I'm a mile in to my hike, carrying a rucksack, carrying my backpack as well. So I got about 400 feet in front of me. Stopped here to get some pull-ups. Listening to a guy named, I think his name is Michael Bear, on Tim Ballou show. So I always listen to stuff at 2x so I can get things as fast. By the way, your mind actually runs faster than most people speak. So that's the reason why your mind wanders while people are speaking, because it's actually capable of comprehending things much faster. And people at the normal speech rate doesn't keep your mind fully active because you're more capable than that. So that's why I listen to all of my YouTube videos and everything at 2x, because I'm looking at not only keeping my mind focused, so I'm pouring information to it at a double rate. So it makes it really stay focused on that, because it's trying to comprehend all the words because they're being spoken twice as fast. So you get twice as much information in half the time. And so anyway, talking to Bear there on his deal, really had an incredible experience. Was addicted to alcohol and drugs, and then decided to break free from it. And the thing is I've never been addicted to alcohol or drugs, so I can't say what I know what that addiction is like. But when I was going through my major event in life, and I was trying to do self-discovery, self-introspection, and I found out that I was an addict as well, but I was addicted to work. So I actually remember getting to the chapter of a book, and I think it was Wayne Dyer's book, one of his books. And the title of the book was Workaholism. And I remember going, wait a second, there was no ism on workaholism. My dad always taught me, you work hard, you're a Texan, you outwork everybody, you show up early, you stay later, you show up on weekends, and you just win by sheer determination and commitment and willpower. And even if you're not the smartest guy in the box or the fastest guy on the 40-yard sprint, you just overwork and outwork and whatever. And then I realized that that's all my life had been significantly, was just running 3 companies at the same time, working 20 hours, 21 hours a day, having adrenal fatigue at age 29 or 30 years old with hand tremors, and my body was reacting in a very what would you call it, violent way, not violent, but it was having its own shutdowns because my own level of addiction. So we all have those addictions. We all need to be conscious and aware of them. And that was the biggest thing that I got from Bear, listening to him just now, is that when we become aware, and we've all gone through neurolinguistic programming, we've all been to a Tony Robbins event, and if you haven't, you need to go. But in all of those events, what we're always doing is we have learned how to become aware of our thoughts. We're not what I call 80% of the audience out there, all the humans walking around, our 8 billion, 80% of them are unconsciously incompetent. They are unconscious of their gross level of unconsciousness, and therefore they are incompetent in their life because they're not even aware that they're unaware. So they're just kind of drones bumping around and living meaningless, purposeless lives. So there's the other 20% of us that are working on this woke factor, or getting awakened, or becoming enlightened, or whatever term. And that's when you have the horse kick in the head. It's usually a traumatic event, and that event triggers something like a level of aha, of the eureka effect, that wait a second, it's not everybody else that I'm blaming, it's not all of these other people out here, it's me. All of my life, everything that you have, everything that you feel, every opinion and belief that you have, because there are no facts. Science continues to prove that in the quantum environment, there are no facts. There are opinions of how things occur, and those belief systems are rooted and based in patterns of thought, in syntactical things that we put together like Legos in our brain. And, I've been studying philosophy for 30 plus years of my life. Nietzsche said that a long time ago, that there is no fact, there's only opinion. And a lot of people want to argue with that, especially people that profess to be highly intelligent and intellectuals, have a lot of book learning, and they want to say, no, science, is factual. And then you go look at all the science that we've had for the last 1,000 years and look how it's continued to be disproven and overwritten by what? Finding that the temporary provisional truth that was factual was not actually totally correct. Oh my gosh, the scientists are wrong. Yes, and they continue to be wrong. And they're doing their best, and they are following intelligent lines of reasoning. But at the end of the day, they are only able to come up with levels of patterns that they have become aware of based on intelligence and reasoning, fact patterns that allow them to come up with a conclusion that is only temporal, that is only provisional until what? Until it's disproven. And we go to the next step, and we go to the next step, and we continue to evolve. So the key thing I'm trying to get to you here is that everything in your mind that you believe to be truth and fact is in fact not. It is a belief system that is based on an opinion or an adopted opinion that you have picked up from parents, from a minister, from a scientific professor at university, from peer pressure, or from what you refer to as your own experience of life and how you are interpreting it. And notice, when you interpret something, you are using your baseline, your own level of intelligence or unintelligence, to interpret this thing around us that we barely understand right now. We don't understand what reality is. We're just now starting to try to get our head around it. And our minds are doing our best to take what we have learned in the past and what we have decided to remember in an incorrect format and store it. And then it takes the new things that we're learning in our world, that we're observing, that we're feeling, that we are experiencing, and we compare those to things that we already have decided that we know in our mind, and we come to a conclusion. And my God, that is a false conclusion. So I've become aware of this, and what Bear is talking about is the more that you are aware of the fact, or I can't even use the word, the more that you're aware of the process, of the factual process, that you are paying attention to the moment, noticing how you are thinking about your thinking, then you start noticing the foolishness of your opinions and your belief systems and their unfounded reliance upon things that have no baselines, or things that are constantly disproven, or things that are constantly changing. So you go, well, gosh, Steve, if I have nothing to hold my beliefs on, if I have no factual pattern, if this thing of quantum science is in flux and constant, and it is impacted by our intent, and our intent comes from our belief systems and our desires, that means that I could literally imagine a future that hasn't become already, and that I could then start rehearsing how I would act and feel and function in that future imagined self. And if my mind cannot distinguish the difference between imagination and this thing called experiencing reality, then you're telling me that I could rehearse becoming my better version of myself, and that my mind would then actually help me become that. Yes, exactly. And the reason why you see me out here on pull-up bars, you see me carrying 50 pounds of sand up the side, is those are physical conditionings that impact my mental conditioning. I don't want to do that today. It's cold out here. It's 32 degrees. It's heavy. I can't go back up the bar one more time. All those kind of things. And when you override those negative beliefs and intents physically, and you do your work anyway, you do your mental preparation, you do your meditation, you do your breath work, and you continue to push your ritual and your regimentation, you are practicing becoming the better version of yourself. It's what Aristotle taught Alexander when he was 13 years old. Be as you wish to seem. Be as you wish to seem is not about fake it till you make it. No. That is disingenuous. That is not authentic. It is not what I want to call, it's not that honest level of rightness. What you are doing is you are practicing becoming the better version of who you have been created to become. That's it right there. Have a good morning.